variables. Now we're starting main fundamentals of Java programming language. So one of them's variables. In this section, we'll first learn what a variable is. Then we'll learn how to declare and initialize variables. And then once we get that, we'll be learning different types of variables: instance variables, static variables, as well as local variables. Then we'll get used to working with Java keywords. So first, like I said, we're going to start with the question, what is a variable? So a variable, it can be thought of as a container or a box which holds value for you, right, during the life of a particular Java program. So it means that when you create a variable, you basically reserve some space in memory. Every variable is assigned a data type, and it holds quantity of value. So here we have two steps to use a variable in a program. They're called declaration and initialization. In order to declare a variable, you must specify the data type and give a unique name to the variable. So in our example, we declare the variable age with int data type. And of course, we're going to cover data types in the next slides, but just stay with me. So in order to initialize a variable, you must assign it a valid value according to its data type. So here we use the equation sign. It means that value in the right side will be saved into the variable on the left side. So in our example, we'll assign value 37 to a variable age. Now, in order to declare more than one variable, use a comma to separate identifiers. Java programming language has rules and conventions for naming variables. So while declaring variables, please note that Java is a case-sensitive programming language, which means that the upper or lower case of letters in your Java programs matter. So the variable age that consists of all lowercase is different from the variable age that consists of first capital letter and the rest lowercase. So a variable name can begin with a letter, a $sign, or underline mark. Now, if you declare a one-word variable name, go ahead and use all lowercase letters. It's not mandatory, but it helps keep things organized. And if you declare a variable name having more than one word, use all lowercase letters for the first word and then capitalize the first letter of another word. Now let's look at different types of variables. We have three types of variables in Java. First one is instance variables. So instance variables are defined in a class, but outside of a method declaration. They're also defined without the static keyword. So then guess what the second one is? It's static variables. Static variables are initialized only once at the start of the program execution. These variables should be initialized first, before the initialization of any instance variables. Also, they're defined in a class, but outside a method declaration. We'll cover some static keywords in detail in the next coming slides. And then the last one is local variables. Local variables are declared inside the body of a method. So that's just an introduction. Don't worry, we're going to cover methods as its own subject in greater detail in some of the upcoming slides. Java keywords. Now, as in every other programming language, Java has some reserved words, and these are called keywords. We cannot use them as names for variables, methods, classes, or as any other identifier. Now you can see Java keywords on the table here. Each keyword has a specific meaning in the language. So we're going to practice with these keywords in the next exercises. So you ready? Let's start coding. So why don't we start with variable examples? So first, let's create a new Java project. And specify the project name as exercise. And let's not change any of the other options and just click on the next button. So in this section, uncheck create module info.java file option, and then press the finish button. Okay, so in this project, right-click on the source folder and then select new class. Okay, so specify the package name as variable and the class name as variable. And then select the checkbox to add a main method. Then just click on the Finish button, and then Eclipse will generate a Java class. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. Now we can start coding. So let's declare 3 variables with the int type. First up, A, and assign 10. Second, B, and assign 20. And last, C, and assign A plus B. So now let's print variable C on the screen by using the print method. Eclipse actually has a quick shortcut for you to write this method. So type sysso, then hit Control space in combination from the keyboard. So this is named as code completion. All right, so it allows us to quickly complete statements in our code. We can use this key combination in all the other parts of the program, such as variables and methods and classes and wherever you are. Okay, so let's run the code now. So right-click on variable.java and select from the contextual menu Run As Java Application. And then the result will print result equals 30 in the console. So also we can define variables that are separated by commas. So let's run the code again using a shortcut. And the result is the same. Also, we can directly write A plus B to the output. But herein lies a problem. Compiler considers a statement as a string and concatenates them. So in order to solve this problem, we must use A plus B between parentheses. All right? So let's run it again. Now the result is correct. See that? So let's have a look at some naming rules for variables. We will study the variable age. Int age is valid. Int underscore age is valid. Int $mark age is valid. Int age 3 is valid. But int a space GE is invalid. And 3age is invalid because variable names cannot use spaces, and a variable name cannot begin with a digit. Also, we cannot use Java keywords as a variable name. So int break is invalid because break is a keyword. Int do is also invalid because do is a keyword, and int public is invalid because public is a keyword. Don't worry, you'll get to know your keywords.